are, oh, thanks everyone for joining. We're here to talk today about the Conga Summer release. As most of you know, in April, Conga announced the acquisition of 2 companies, ActionGrid and Novatus, and their applications for data management and contract management. These additions to the Conga suite have allowed us to expand on Conga Composer to address data, document generation, contract management, and reporting. We've spent the last 2 months diligently working to align our suite of products in order to provide an enterprise-grade solution to data and document management. So we're excited to announce Conga Summer release today. It's now available to all customers for Conga and ActionGrid with limited use for Novatus customers right now. Full release coming soon. So whether you use one or multiple Conga solutions, you'll find that these enhancements and product updates have been designed to increase your user experience and product functionality. So today we just want to review a few of the key updates and some of the new enhancements for Composer, ActionGrid, and for Novatus contracts. So just some housekeeping. We will leave some time at the end of the session for questions. So if you have questions throughout the webinar, there's a button up to the right-hand side toolbar. Go ahead and put any questions in there, and we'll get to as many as we can at the end. Any that we do not get to, we will go ahead and follow up with you individually. So still feel free to ask, and we will follow up through anything we are not able to get to live today. We are also recording this session, so a recording link will be sent to CongaSphere. I'll send out a link to everyone that registered to get to that recording. So if you have colleagues who'd like to see this, or if you want to revisit it later, it will be available.
Hello, everyone. My name is Pete Castro. I'm the product owner for the legacy Conga product line, pretty much all things document generation. So just kind of wanted to go over a few of the major talking points here and then show a couple demos of some of our new features we just introduced. So one thing we did recently was update the Conga product's connection to the Salesforce API to their latest version. This should help us with a lot of new features that Salesforce was introducing, such as new objects, new relationships, those sorts of things that Composer wasn't integrating with seamlessly due to that connection. So we've increased that. And one of those things that's now available is the ability to write files to the Salesforce files file repository. So files is kind of like what they're calling content now. So to show a quick demo of that, we have the ability to deliver the output document, save a copy, or even with our automated products for Conductor and Workflow, send the output document as a Salesforce file. So what I'm going to show here is just a quick contract generation where I save a carbon copy to the master record. In the past, this would save to the notes and attachments list to any object where you run Composer from. We now have this new option here in the Save a Copy dropdown for Salesforce file. So when I run the merge, almost the exact same thing is going to happen, but under the covers in Salesforce, this is not saved as a traditional attachment, but as a Salesforce file. So if you look down here, you'll kind of see the difference in these two types of attachments on this account. So the one I just did is this one here marked as a file. So also coming really, really soon is going to be the ability to pull a template from the Salesforce files repository. That one was just a little more complex and didn't quite make the release, but should be coming in the next couple weeks here. So the next thing I wanted to show off was a new watermarking feature for PDF templates. We've had the ability to do watermarks in Word document templates for a long time, but recently we've added this functionality to PDF templates. So when most people think of a Conga PDF, they think of a Word template that gets converted to a PDF. But in a small number of circumstances, we have a handful of customers that are starting with a PDF document as the template which they're merging to. So kind of my classic PDF template demo is, a very strict form in which you can't recreate in Word, like this W9. And now we have the ability to add a watermark. One of the cool caveats that came along with this is that it could have 2 line breaks, so 3 lines to the dynamic content of your watermark. And all it requires is one single merge field anywhere on your template, and we just carry that watermark through all the pages of the output file. So this could be, some big 1,000-page PDF doc, and just one single merge field in your template will generate the watermark. So those are my demos that I have. If we want to switch back to the slide, I think there were a couple other things to mention there. Just a second. Okay, so what else do we have? Oh, yes, a few new DocuSign parameters for those of you that have a built-in Conga to DocuSign solution. We now have some new parameters to support DocuSign Signer Group, Sign Now with in-person signing, and a new endpoint for our EU customers hosted on that DocuSign environment. Is there another slide for Composer? Nope. All right, that's it. Off to Action Grid.
So my name's Eric Budd. I'm the product manager for Conga Action Grid. So some of the things we've been working on this last release is reworking our save and save view functionality in our user interface. The idea here is we really wanted to keep looking for opportunities to make Action Grid for users a bit more simple, a bit more intuitive, and we haven't changed or removed any functionality here, but simply reworked how some of the toolbars and menu items work. So I'll show you that in just a minute. Another thing is the mail and compose feature, where we have this is an existing functionality that we've enhanced to allow additional the existing functionality was to be able to use any email from any object that has an email field on it. So we've enhanced that to give the user the ability to select from different email fields if there are multiple fields on that object. And we also fixed an issue where that was not being logged to activity history on an email, and now it will be. And then another thing that we've introduced is the third item, adding a wizard to convert list views to Action Grid views. And this is something that probably is going to be reserved for admins that are setting up Action Grid, but it's a handy tool if you have a lot of list views that are already created and have put a significant amount of time to set those up. We have a tool that will easily convert those into Action Grid views. So I will show you some of these. So I am show you the changes to the save functionality. So we've got our Action Grid here, and we if we make a change to a record, like let's say this email is not the email that I want to have in this field, I'm going to put my own email in here. So I can make an edit in line with Action Grid, and then show that the save button is now turned blue, meaning that there's now dirty data in this field, meaning we've made a change, it's reflected in our grid, but it won't be updated to the database until we hit save. And so so this functionality is pretty similar to what we've had. So now that I've saved my record, now that I see what we've done is instead of having additional items next to the view here that would say previously said save view new view or manage views, the Save button will perform a lot of this functionality. So if you own a view, if it's a view that you actually have created and manage, then the Save button will actually save and update the view as well. But if it's a case of a public read-only view or a view that you do not own, all of the saving view functionality has been included under this drop-down. So if we hit Save View As here, this is going to save the view and allow you to rename the view or change the properties of the view if you want to make it a public read-only or private, and allow the same options that have existed further that existed previously. So again, just something to clean up the experience and make it a little more intuitive to new users. So the next item I want to show you, as this is the contacts object. So now that I can select a record or up to 10 records, and I can use the feature here to go down to send email and then compose. And so this functionality hasn't changed. You can set up a default email client that's outside of Salesforce, or you can use a built-in Salesforce email client that we've built into Action Grid. And we revamped this a bit to make it a bit more functional. It now has the rich text fields so that you can send rich text emails. And you can also use this screen here to, if there were multiple items on your object, you could see that you could use either you could select from one of multiple email fields. Now on the contact object, there's only one, so that's the option that we have. And then I'll just write testing, and then testing in my subject. And so the idea here is with send as individual emails. So if you selected up to 10 emails, you could either have the option to send all of those 10 emails with the same toString, or if this option is checked, it's going to send them individually to those individual users. So in this case, we just have one, so it'll be essentially the same either way. And I'll hit send. And so we can see the email is sent. And now this changed with the activity history. So now if I go in and look at the activity history for this record, I can see that this is the email that I just sent seconds ago. You can see that it's listed in the activity history. And the last thing I want to show you is how you can convert. Let me go back here. So on the contacts object we have here. So back in our contacts object, we have a number of different views here. And so let's say we're doing setup of our Action Grid, and we want to take our list views and convert them into Action Grid views. Well, if we go back to our Action Grid setup screen, we can come down to the contact object and go to convert list view. And so here we have the option, looking in our dialog box, we can see here are all of the list views that have already been set up, and these are not currently Action Grid views. So we can have the option to pick one of these list views, or you can use the option to select all list views, which will convert all of them. And so I'll just pick one that I'm interested in here. So New York contacts. And we can also create a Visualforce page out of this if we want to set up a specific tab just for this view. So now I can hit OK. And now I come back to my contacts Action Grid, and I'll refresh to get reload the list of views that are available. And now if I go in my view list here, I can see that New York contacts has now been added to my set of views that I have available to me. So you can see it basically takes in the same fields and same information that is currently listed in your list views. So especially handy if you have a lot of list views set up that you just want to drag right over to Action Grid.
Thank you, Eric.
Sure.
Now I'll move it over to Tracy with Nevada.
Hi, everybody. This is Tracy Boyd. I'm the Director of Technical Services. And I don't know, can you give me presenter control, or do I have to take that? I'm sorry.
Nope, just gave them to you.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate it. So you guys should be able to see my screen, hopefully. This is a summary of what Novatus is. So this is for people that maybe are a little new to the product or aren't really sure, and I just wanted to give a really quick summary. Basically, Novatus is a contract management system on a SaaS environment. We obviously connect to Salesforce, which is one reason why we're such a great team, and we offer several benefits. One of the biggest things, I think, is saving time. So between when a contract's created and when it's executed, you can save quite a bit of time just with the process of that through Novatus. There's more of an automatic process also that you can set up, and it's highly configurable. So it will match your business needs and anything else you might need. We also offer training, configuration, and even integrations. So it's a great product. For our 7.0 release, and by the way, we have 3 major releases a year, and the 7.0 is a pretty big one for us. It's a summer release. I picked out 2 of the big features. I'm going to show you a demo of that in just a second. You have automatic OCR of documents. It's very easy. And then you have a copy contract wizard, which allows you to copy a contract, and also it's dynamic forms and those kind of things. I'm going to show you what that is in just a second. We also have analytics and clause management, which is going to be in beta for the 7.0 release that's in August. So right now we're in preview, and in August we go live to production. So let's see. So hopefully you can see this. This is Novatus. This is my dashboard. You can do portlets, so you can add custom portlets as you need. These are my recently viewed contracts. So I'm going to pull up this one, for example. There we go. And then here's your major fields that are defaulted, and here's even additional fields that you can add, and then down here you have other items. I'm going to add a document to this contract, and it's going to be a document that's not OCR, it's just an image. So it's a PDF that's been scanned, basically, and it was not OCR'd when it was scanned in. Choose a document type. I choose the document, and I save it. And it was just OCR'd. Doesn't tell you, it's automatic, which is fantastic. But OCR means it's searchable. So we just go up here, do document search, and then you put in a keyword. For example, I believe that was the name, Griswold, and then there's your document right here. It's the one I just uploaded. There's the contract, Acme, and you can open it from here even. There we go. So no problem. So OCR is automatic. It's extremely easy, just fantastic. Then we offer this copy contracts, and this is for 7.0. So I'm going to go back to my dashboard, and then I'm going to pick a contract again. I'm going to pick that same Acme contract, and then I'm going to run the copy contract wizard. So here you go, copy contract wizard. It's really easy. Hit next. Oh, first I want to show you, first I want to show you the dynamic forms. So on this one you have dynamic forms, which are custom forms you can create, and you can have many instances per contract. So for example, we have some clients that do it for a particular product, and they have many forms for that product, that kind of thing. This one you have 2, and we can add a new dynamic form also. Let's see, technical integration, for example. And then this is just one I created on the fly. These are just custom fields that I made. You'd be able to put whatever you want in here. But there it is. There's the new one right there. So when I copy this contract, it's also going to copy these dynamic forms and the whole contract. So let's say you have an NDA, it's pretty standard. You want to make sure the exact same things get in. You can do that really easy now. You just say copy contract, you select the forms if you want them, and you say finish. And it'll create it. There we go. You can also edit it. So let's say it's pretty much what you want. You can go in here and change it. You do have to put an expiration date because of the term type, so I'll put 17, and you hit save. And that's it. And then we have our big demo for Novartis for our users in August.
Awesome. Thank you, Tracy. So for those who are looking for full release notes, obviously we just went over some of our top highlights. Full release notes are available either on Conga Sphere, which has the Conga and action grids, and it will have Novartis up there as well. This is not a gated website, so if you can access it no matter which product it is that you have. And then if you have any questions when you've looked at the release, please feel free to contact either your account executive or one of our support email addresses. Someone would be happy to help you. So that is the end of our summer release webinar. We have received a few questions, so we'll go ahead and start those. Thank you for everyone that did show up today. Again, the recording will be saved. All right, so we received a question about whether, let's see, if we still use the older button commands to generate a file, what is the queue mode for creating a Salesforce file?
Yes, the queue mode value is Salesforce file, one word, and no S, just singular, Salesforce file. That also applies to the save a copy parameter. And the DS7 background mode parameter, the value there is 11, so 11. These should be up on our support site, but I don't see them, so I will go run that down after this meeting.
And there was a quick follow-up that the queue mode equals chatter was having an issue in new release. Has that been addressed?
That has been addressed. The fix for that bug should be released this coming Wednesday. There's also a new feature as a part of that bug fix. So with the new version of the API, if you're creating a multi-file output, you can attach many files to a single chatter post as opposed to the old behavior of one file per post. So fix the bug and kind of added an enhancement there.
We received a question earlier. It was addressed, but I'll readdress it. When is the final Novartis release available? And that is in August. There will be 2 additional webinars focused on the Novartis contracts release. You should have notifications about that. If you don't, feel free to reach out and we can make sure we tell you those dates and times. We have 2 scheduled in August again for those.
This is Eric for Action Grid. So for our release, we pushed the release to customer sandboxes and to the App Exchange last Wednesday. And based on some feedback of that, we're addressing some very minor visual changes that we found. So we're in the process of updating those, and we're going to make the final push to production, to customers' production systems tomorrow evening.
We have a question around watermark. I know that Conga has offered watermark options previously. What is different in this new feature?
So this new feature for the watermark has the ability to add line breaks. So if you have dynamic content that needs a line break, kind of rare, but it's in there. And then also this applies to PDF as a template. So not a Word document or Excel file or something that gets converted to PDF, but when the template itself starts as a PDF.
Thank you. Do we have any more questions? We have a few more minutes if anyone had any questions. How does Sign Now work for multiple signers? In other words, I have two signers that need to sign a document. Can they both have the Sign Now experience?
That only works with Sign in Person. So if you have multiple signers that are all Sign in Person, you can apply Sign Now. So basically what happens is you say John and Jane are Sign in Person, you click Send, or the Salesforce user will click Send, and we're anticipating that the user is in the room with John and Jane, and the new Sign Now ability, so instead of sending an email, your Salesforce screen will just simply flip right around to the DocuSign signing experience, and you can hand them your iPad or your laptop or whatever, and they can sign. Yeah, so that only applies to Sign in Person.
Thank you. But can multiple people do that?
Yes, should be able to, yeah, if they're all Sign in Person. Sometimes you'll have an envelope where the first person's a Sign in Person, the second person's an email, the third person is an internal executive to approve the deal or something like that. So if the people that are denoted as Sign in Person, you can apply Sign Now.
And Mark, I know you have a follow-up question, so since we are almost out of time, we will go ahead and have someone follow up with you so you can have a deeper discussion about this. Perfect. If there isn't anything else, of course, if you do have questions, please reach out to your account executive. Feel free to reach out to our support email addresses if this is a support question. Otherwise, please feel free to respond to the marketing@congamarriage.com, and we could help you as well. Thank you for everyone that took time out of your day to join us, and we hope you enjoyed the sneak peek at our new features.
Thanks.